Hello, this is Blake. This is a YouTube video. This is going to be the only YouTube video that I'll ever be making because I don't like YouTube. So, today we're going to talk about the quadratic equation, but we're actually going to do it in a word problem. This is by Blake Chittister. It is in the class for 1-1-2-3 math in the fall 2020 semester. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's read the problem. The product of two positive consecutive integers is 5 more than 3 times the larger. Find the integers. So let's define a little bit here. The product is when you multiply two numbers together, and then it's positive, and it's 2 of them. And the consecutive integers is kind of like one number and then just like the number after it, the whole number after it. So for instance, we can do 27 and 28, or it can be simple like 3 and 4, or kind of complex like 728,024 and 728,025. It's just the one whole number after. And yeah, so we'll have our integer mean x, but since it's the consecutive one after, we're also going to do x plus 1. But this can also be written as just simply x plus 1. But also, there's also two big important things. It says that there's 5 more than 3 times the larger. So also, we should add an equal sign, because we're going to have two sides. And then we're going to have 3x plus 1. And then we're just going to add 5 because there's 5 more. All right, but we're going to have to clean it up a little bit so that, that it's equal. So we have x times x plus 1, which can be written as x squared plus x, and that's for the first side. And then for the second side, can be for 3 times 3x1 can be 3x plus 3. Oh, but like still add 5. We're not gonna forget about 5. So we gotta algebra down. We have a basic algebraic expression. So we're gonna start out by subtracting minus 3x to both sides. We're gonna minus 3x, which is gonna make minus 2x, because this minus 3 is minus 2x. X squared plus 3 plus 5. And then we're going to combine these like terms. And then we're going to minus 8. Move this down a little bit. We're going to minus 8. And boom. Now we have 0 on one side, and we kind of have this whole thing not really too crazy. And so now we're going to factor them. So we're going to add this, And since we know it's going to equal to 0, we can have that 0 there. And since we also know that it's x squared, we can add an x to both sides. And also, we have a negative sign before the middle term and the last term, which means we're going to have one positive side and one negative sign. Just kind of keep that in mind. So we also have an 8 here. And when you have 8, it can be divisible by 1, 4, and 2, and 8, but we're not going to use 8. But the best way to do this is to do 4 times 2 equals 8, because also in this sense, 4 minus 2 equals 8. So we're going to add the signs as well. Minus sign here and a plus sign here. And it still equals 0. And if we just simplify this a bit, we do x minus 4 equals 0. And x plus 2, you can't really see that, plus 2 equals 0. And then if we simplify that, we can do x equals 4 and x equals, and now we have our integers. But there is a slight problem. If you look back at the question, it says the product of 2 positive integers, and one of these is negative. So that means we can't use this one, but we can use this one. So that fills our question. X is equal to 4, meaning that x plus 1 is equal to 5. And that kind of checks out with this, because the larger number, which is 5, times 3, 5 times 3 equals 15, plus 5 equals 20, which just so happens to be 4 times 5. That was a very bad circle. So we know the answer is 4 and 5. Thank you. I'm never making a YouTube video again.